Good morning, Internet, and welcome back to Thaumaturge. In the last video, we ended up kicking the crap out of some demon attached to a woman who committed patricide, and we ended up learning that our father has kicked the bucket. But it's okay, because in my opinion, apparently he was an asshole. So, let's get back into it.
When people unite, empires fall.
When people unite, empires fall. Actually, you know what? We have an upgrade point. So, we have choices. Brutality. Bond of Brutality, self-cast. Increases the damage from Saluter's Nest attack by 50%. Mental Defense. Makes you lose focus instead of taking damage. That sounds like a great idea and also a bad idea. Great, adds points to mention and mind. Lucky chance, 60% chance of slowing the enemy's actions. Perfectionism. Makes every attack on the enemy deal the maximum possible damage. Makes every attack on the enemy deal maximum possible damage. Yes, please. You know what? Yes, please. Upgrade allows you to manipulate the dimension heart. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, we getting into the good stuff. Ooh, we getting into the good stuff. Alright. Go to your father's funeral. This way. This way! To the funeral! Yay! Guy screaming at somebody for no reason, but at the same time asking what he wants. The Warsaw Courier. Majestic. The Majesties have arrived. When this issue of the Courier is in your hands, the ancient city of Warsaw will be receiving its most distinguished guests. His Majesty Nikolai II, Emperor, the Emperor of all Russia, King of the King of Poland, the Grand Duke of Finland, Her Royal Highness Tsarina Alexandria Fyodorovna, will arrive in our city this afternoon. This will be our royal couple's first visit to Warsaw. On this long-awaited and joyous occasion, the city has taken up the festive appearance. Streets have been adorned with festoons of flowers and greenery, and the entire area that the royal procession will pass through is filled with crowds of people wishing to pay homage to their majesties on behalf of Warsaw and all of the kingdom. And with that vow of loyal allegiance, Polish hearts send to the throne a quiet echo of fervent desires and lasting comfort. Let's see. Lasting comfort. These arise from Majesty's words, who declared in grand manifestos the ultimate goal was to ensure the happiness of all his loyal subjects and to discern all his loyal subjects' needs. Those gracious words of the sovereign have become a source of comfort for the people of the Kingdom of Poland, and in the name of that comfort, the Polish people under the Russian rule are happy to greet His Majesty today, trusting their substantial needs will be recognized and ready for civic and public service. That was a lot. Revolutionary leaflets. Brothers, the 11-hour work days are killing us. Let's follow example of the workers in German and English factories and fight to reduce them to 9 working hours. Join the strike. Put down your tools and join the fight for the future. I know I should be going back there, but... Oh, it's just a menu. Take the experience. Anytime I can have an excuse to get more experience. Daily Courier. Tragedy on Marzlakowska Street. God, I'm Russian. I can't read Russian. Several people have died in a building collapse, including the respected Warsaw entrepreneur Stanislaw Zaluski. No one seems to know the cause of the incident, defective construction of the building, or a deliberate attack. All we know is could not have been foreseen, shock and awe. The tenant house was inhabited by 4 families. 3 of them are now mourning after the loss of their loved ones. The Bogozlowskis lost their children. Mr. and Mrs. Grodecki lost their lives. And Franzizek Konozwalski, the owner of a pram and linen factory warehouse, perished in the collapse. The case is being investigated by the police, while the residents are advised caution when walking on city streets. Anything else I can gain experience for while I'm here? What is this? Citizen, beware of all thaumaturges who act in secret, plotting to bring down the economy and thus take complete control over our society. There's anti-thaumaturge leaflets? Let us protect our children from those degenerates waiting for the right moment to strike and control over the most innocent of minds and souls. Let us get rid of those parasites. Recent research shows that thaumaturge brains are burned out from thoughts that go against nature. Hence, they cannot be treated equally to normal people. Let us act now before it's too late. The Country Weekly Magazine. Change of Warsaw Governor General. Today's Supreme Order of August 28 was announced. The Governor General of Warsaw, Commander of Warsaw Military District, Adjutant General Maksonovich, will be released from his current duties, retaining the title Adjutant General. He will be replaced by his second in command, Adjutant General Skala. Also, experience point. Give me brutality. Yeah. Fuck. Didn't mean to do that. No, didn't mean to do that. Perception, damn it. I like to snap my fingers a lot. City that does not forget.
Why such a crowd?
The circus has come to town.
These are troubled times. Brothers turn against brothers. Russia has had enough bloodshed. The violence must stop. When socialists attempt to divide Russia and her subject nations, to dent the sword that smote the enemy at Grunwald, this demands my decisive action. Thus, by my grace, I hereby appoint as Governor General of Warsaw, Georgi Antonovich Skowon.
A butcher.
Not a popular guy, I presume.
I see you ain't from here. That swine keeps a photo album of all the folks he's had shot at the Citadel.
Before and after execution.
Warsaw! The time for leniency and indulgence is over. From the moment this office is bestowed on me, no forces hostile to the subjects of Greater Russia will have any further right to exist. None! Whether it be brutal socialist subversives, communists, Jews, or other satanic provocateurs.
He sure knows how to unite a crowd.
Pardon me, are you Polish?
Yes, I feel Polish. My name's Victor.
Wanda.
This is Russia here. Like it or not. Warszawa. Время террора закончилось.
Иди нахуй!
My first decision as Governor General of Warsaw. Arrestować.
Great heroes in their sense of timing. Of course, now they're the first ones in the fight.
Samoobladanie, Poliaki. We want that rebel. The loudmouth.
Damn.
What happened?
Be a gentleman. Please kneel and tie my shoe.
That seems more like a job for the servants, young lady.
Go ahead. Look down. Can I ask you a tiny favor? The Russians can't find out about this. The military is just looking for an excuse to suppress the crowd, and these workers are dreaming of thrashing a Russian gendarme.
Either one of you confesses to disturbing the peace, or всех забирай. We'll take you all in.
You can't handle all of us.
Can you get us out of here?
I think I'm open to any kind of suggestion.
With a book like that, I'd find out what would convince one of these bastards to let us go. Or I'd take on that self-appointed leader of the proletariat.
Interesting strategy. Who are you, really?
A damsel in distress.
Those don't usually hide ammunition in their stockings.
Can I explain it to you another time?
I'm going to take a look around.
I don't know why you carry ammunition when I don't think you have a weapon on you at the moment. But let's see what we can do. Do we deal with the po-po? Or do we deal with the work leader? I guess we talk first.
Do you think it's a good idea to stir people up and send them to face bullets and bayonets?
What do you want then? My whole life on my knees? Kissing Ruski's ass?
Do you realize blood is about to be spilled? And that it might be mine?
Fuck off!
Pistol bullets. Bullets that fell from under the woman's dress, scattered on the pavement. Small bullets carry big emotions. Hope, because they were meant to benefit the cause. Fear, which in these difficult times makes its way to even the hardest of hearts. And determination, the companion of courage, without which it would be impossible to face reality. Each bullet is hidden in the nooks and crannies of the undergarments with care and precision, just like the previous time and the time before that. This is nothing new for the person who took this risk.
Pardon me, gentlemen.
The crowd has received the order. For now, zero response.
We'll give them a moment to arrest them all, book them, interrogate them. Gospodi will be home in November.
Gentlemen, please forgive me. Maybe there's a faster way to get this situation resolved.
Back off, Polyak, or we'll start shooting. Paniatno, scrum. Dawaj.
Sergeant, I didn't want to do this, but my name is Viktor Shulski.
Shulski or Smolski, I don't care.
We'll make an example of you for the rest of these bastards.
Alright, well, I guess I'm fighting. I wanted to increase my pride. 41 health points, 3 focus points, 6 focus points. Just upgrades. Old wounds, suffering. Receive 3 to 4 damage at the end of every round. You know what? I'll add it to Can I add it to concussion? No, I can't add it to... Why can't I add it to concussion? Alright, fine, fine. Diversion. Makes every attack on the enemy deal the maximum possible damage. Brutality. Alright, you know what? Let's take brutality. Double damage. Nah. I'll just stick with what I got. Let's go. I want to see some body parts. Selecting yourself or a saluter or a saluter. Preview both saluter and skills. Summoning another saluter. Summon another saluter at any time. Green famed. Okay. Yeah, baby. There we go. Okay. Now, we're gonna summon a saluter and then take action. Planned attack. Let's do diversion first. Ooh, how? Cast State of Suffering on the enemy. Enemy's health points less than 50%. The skill additionally casts the state on a random enemy. Ooh, keep that in mind. Inflicts damage equal to 8 for the enemy affected by suffering. Inflicts damage the lower the enemy's health points are. Ooh, okay. Alright. We'll start with Howl. Okay. Guess I'll deal with the old wound first. Then bloody wedding. Ah, I activated an old wound on him. And here I was worried it was on me. Okay, interesting. So now I can inflict wounds on people that do DOT. Interesting. I was worried that was still on me from the last fight. Okay. Distraction. Ow. Distraction. Ow. Now I'm gonna bleed. This is a tougher fight than I was expecting. But okay. I'm gonna howl at you. That knocks his attack out. That puts you in the damage pool. Bloody wedding. Nope, that's a death. Fuck! Alright, that's the first time I've ever died. Alright, back in the fight. Yeah, back in the fight. Sorry. Making sure my controller still works. Anyway, so 3 out of 3. I think I'm gonna have to take him out first. He's got the most health and the least amount of points. Now that I know that this is actually something else, I'm going to use that on that. So now, anytime I inflict an old wound on somebody, not only did it take damage over time, but it makes my next attack that much stronger. That might change the game here. Yes, yes, Salutator. Yep, yep. Okay. I want you. Let me swap over. Diversion. And I'm gonna hit you with a howl. Hit you with a diversion. Hit you with a howl. That sends you guys into the suffering state. Yeah, you're gonna hurt me. Yeah, it's gonna suck. But now I can just do that. And I can have this sucker do this one. Doom! No! Ow. Not the Billy Club! Concussion. Kazing! Ooh, he still stands. He still stands. Has 5 health. Fuck it. Finish him with a punch. Ooh, this is gonna suck. Ow. He's got a broken nose. He is gone. Enemy reinforcements are on the way. Oh shit, I didn't notice that one. Bum. Fuck it, you got 4 health. 11 damage, Jesus Christ. Oh, look, reinforcement. Traits. Enemies can have a trait that makes them immune to your attacks. Traits are related to different dimensions. They can be disabled. Disabling traits. To disable an enemy trait, attack when the cellular is that belongs to that same dimension as the trait. Note, if you don't have the required dimension force, you can take away all the opponent's force and launch a strong attack. Timeout. Resistance to red damage. Attack with an Oopier. What's your trait? Actually, I think that should be you. So, start with that. Hit this. Scream into the ear! Yeah! That's the shit! Nope, that wasn't it. What was that? Unsure. Very unsure about that one. Fucking diversion. I guess bloody wedding. It's the only thing I can do. Though he's got a long fucking charge time for this. Fucking hit him again. Nope, not enough. Ow! I need healing. Alright, fuck. Alright, but you've still got a long reload time to that. So, bloody wedding. Fucking doom. One more of that should put him down for the count. One more distraction. Doom! Aww. Made that so weak. You're an asshole. Wait, what? thought I had concussion. Why'd I shoot him? Alright, I killed a man.
Name?
Shulski. Victor.
One of those Shulskis?
Yes.
My condolences. Now, profile.
Thank you.
What you pissing in the bucket for, asshole?
Where else am I supposed to?
Brown in the bucket, whiz on the wall.
You better remember that, too. That bucket's gonna last you guys till tomorrow.
Can I use the phone?
Oh, great. So we're all in the slammer. But I kicked your asses. Why the fuck is that the case? Alright, first things first. Revolutionary leaflet. Brother, 11-hour workday, killing us, join the strike. Oh, yeah. Read it already at this point. Wise guy.
What are you staring at, Ganef?
I don't know what that means.
Quit squealing. First time in the big city? Have some respect if you don't know who you're running your mouth at. What did they put such a swell in jail for?
Proudly confess that you were brawling with the Russian soldiers. Yep.
I showed a couple of Russian soldiers when I think about the petitions.
I have moments like that sometimes.
And I gave it to some Ruskies in the kisser, too. There's this red-bearded fella sitting there. I glassed him in the face, then kicked him in the bean, and wham! On the floor. And I pinched his billfold, too.
Did anybody ask you? Shut your damn trap. Well, are you from somebody?
So you're a Thaumaturge. Introduce yourself. Introduce yourself.
My name's Viktor Shulski, and I work on my own behalf.
All right. Respect.
First of all, I am a Thaumaturge.
Now them, I got respect for. I know one really decent Jew from Povishla, who's a wizard too.
How about you? You got a foreskin or what?
Is my foreskin any of your fucking business?
Well, no. I was just...
Schmuck. But you don't look like much of a Warsaw lad.
Looks can be deceiving. I mean, technically I'm from here.
You should not judge a book by its cover.
A tough guy, like a real Warsaw lad.
I was born here. Now I've come home.
Welcome to Warsaw.
Welcome to Warsaw. Is there anything else I can do while I'm here? Not at the moment. So I guess I'll take a seat. Oh, great. Somebody kicked that bucket
I
over.
wouldn't call you a master strategist.
You got away from the station, so theoretically, we achieved our goal.
You're not losing your sense of humor. I guess this isn't your first time in a place like this, is it?
I spent a little time on the Rue de la Raquette in Paris.
It got demolished 5 years ago.
Oui. What about you? You seem to know your way around this setting. You been here often?
I'll take that as a compliment. And sure, sometimes, if the cause demands it.
What cause?
Let's say I know certain folks who'd find poles like you useful.
Dealers in stolen Dutch pomade?
Donut connoisseurs. They met at Burke Rotblitz's cafe.
I don't want to jinx it, but do you spend time there too?
If I'm not there, no one will want to talk to you. And don't worry, I don't usually hang out long in places like this.
Shulski!
I see you won't be hanging out here long either.
Another meeting. Fearless Wanda, the smuggler of bullets, proposed a meeting at Burke Rotsblitz. Wanda, the woman I met during the kettling incident, was smuggling bullets in the nooks and crannies of our undergarments. Clearly, it wasn't the first time she had done that. Unfortunately, this time the garter didn't hold, and the bullets fell onto the pavement. Maybe fate will have us cross paths again, and we'll meet at the Burke and Rotsblitz for jam donuts.
Shulsky, this yours?
Yep, that'd be my book.
That's right.
Then take it and get out of here.
Can I ask why the sudden change of plans? Anyone I should thank?
If he wants to, he'll tell you himself.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna... Wanda's file. I think the girl's been here before. More experience. Victor's file. I have my own file. When recruiting for Gendemir, it is recommended to reject the following candidates immediately: persons related to rebels and troublemakers, Jews, thaumaturges. Any deviation from these instructions must be very well argued. They really have a thing against thaumaturges. Like a real big thing. And yes, they can sometimes go mad, but why would everybody take that approach? Wanted list. 1002, Miranda Bratska, 54 years old, residing in Warsaw, Old Praga. Accused of complicity in stealing 2,000 ruble worth of Dutch pomade. Wanted. Description: short in stature, black hair, small hazel eyes, 3 scars on the right leg. Warsaw, August 3rd, 1905. 1003, Jevezik Missouri, or Missouri. God, I fucking suck at this. Serving time in prison, Zelman Street. Escaped from hospital on Pokorna Street, where he was treated on August 2nd, 1905. Description: tall in nature, frail, small round face, dark hair, small black eyes, small flat nose, 19 years old. 1004, Neudorf Isaac, 18 years old, son of Labus, formerly residing in Minsk, Mazwiki, on Luka Street, accused of stealing fowl and fled into a unascertained direction. Minsk, Mazwiki, August 14th, 1905. Fuck, I suck at this. I suck at reading this shit. I suck at reading in general, but that's another story. You know what? I'm going for an all-around upgrade, so let's just keep going at it. Chance to enemy actions. Yeah, I might get that mental defense last. Next would be action reaction and agony. Additionally cast a state on random enemy. Ooh, I like that. I gotta get that. Okay, anyway. Back to what we were doing. Orders. During the time of our gracious Tsar of all Russia's visit to Warsaw, it is necessary to enhance sense of security. Therefore, I ordain that the number of patrols must be doubled. All station chiefs are required to comply with the order immediately. Illegible signature. Alright, let's roll out. Stanislaw obituary. Stanislaw Zalewski, widely respected citizen, thaumaturge, philanthropist, entrepreneur, father and husband, died suddenly on August 31st at the age of 64. A service for the response of his soul will be held at St. Charles Borromeo Church on Saturday, September 7th at 11, to which his daughter would like to invite all relatives, friends, and acquaintances. Daddy's gone, and he's not coming home ever again. Walking down the muddy streets. There is no road here. Only horse. And horse pucky. This way. Catch a tram. Alright. I'm going to the cemetery. Take me to Dada. He dead. Alright, cool. Game is bugging out at the moment. Where's Papa? Papa Grave. Wait. Obituary notice. Franklin Himmentel went to be with the Lord following a brief yet painful agony, having received sacraments on August 18th, 1905 at the age of 65. A bereaved family is asking all relatives and friends to join them at the funeral service held at St. Anna's Church on Krakowski, Krakowski. I'm not going to try to read that second part. On August 25th at 11, followed by transfer of the body to the family tomb at Pawski Cemetery. There's a family tomb? Neat. Parish announcements. Saturday, 7 a.m. Votive service in honor of Our Lady Rosary for the intention of the brothers and sisters of the Confraternity of the Holy Rosary. 9 a.m. Holy Mass, which will be followed by the recitation of the Litany of Loreto with the prayer for the conversion of sinners. All right, then. Stanislaus, already knew that one. We already saw that one. But it gives me experience regardless. So I'll take it. Tomb, Rip, Marajol Winskwa. Winowska. Fuck. Polish stage artist. December 23rd, 1861. Who else? Who else is here? Here lies Jan Chmielak. Our dear friend. In 1891, he met his end. What he is now lies deep inside. What he was, never you mind. Interesting. I like how I'm just collecting all these tombstone readings to read at a later date. Like, there's just a guy with a pen and paper walking around the tombstones like, is there anything interesting written on this one? How about this one? Or maybe this one? I know this isn't the way I'm supposed to go, but you never know what you're going to find if you wander about. And this might be the end of my wandering. Yep, that's the end of the wandering. Back we go! Ow, I cracked my knee on my desk. Could have a quick word. Maybe. Maybe you can. What do you want?
I'm sure you don't remember me. My name's Hayat. Mordecai Hayat. I wanted to offer my condolences.
Thank you.
Please, forgive my prying. I know Mr. Shulsky took nitroglycerin for his heart, but how did he pass away? Was that his cause of death? His heart?
Quip that your father didn't have a heart. Yep.
We've ruled out any coronary causes since the doctors couldn't confirm whether the deceased had a heart.
Yes, I understand. My condolences, once again. I'll leave you alone. I'm sure you want to bid farewell to your father.
Thank you for talking to me anyway, sir.
think I ought to arrest you, Thaumaturge.
Why would you arrest me, dude?
I haven't done anything, officer. What's the problem?
I barely recognize you either. You still haven't figured out who I am? Don't be surprised. The last time we saw one another was 20 kilos ago.
Uncle Voronian?
I will not keep you. The guy's probably all alone back there, among those vultures circling Stasio. I'm sure she'll be glad to see you. Go on. We'll talk later.
Wait, was it you that got me out of jail? Pretty sure it was him that got me out of jail. He specifically mentioned
Sister?
it was he.
Victor. I'm so glad you came. I wasn't sure if my telegram had reached you.
I'm glad too. How are you holding up?
All this caught me off guard, but for now I don't have time to think things through calmly. Look at yourself. What happened?
I took a short trip to a Warsaw jail.
What? Are you joking? During the funeral? Are you alright?
Everything's fine, don't worry. Have you written to Mother?
Yes, but what can you expect? You know what Nadia is like. It was never her style to show up for family events like this. It's getting late, and we've still got the reading of Papa's will ahead of us at home. And I'll leave you two alone. I suppose you've got your own matters to clear up.
Fine, let's get this over with. So, it was me who got it right in the end. Back then, on the train platform, was the last time we saw one another. 15 years ago. After brief suffering, fell asleep in the Lord. Brief? I hope not. Did you write this yourself? A tyrant, bigot, and liar, mistakenly absolved, died after suffering all too briefly. That's better, and definitely closer to the truth. The day you died, you visited me in my dreams. I was a child when you hounded me out of here, and I remember you as you were back then. But in my dream you looked older. You gave me hell as usual. You didn't believe I'd succeed. You were wrong. I've come back with 2 saluters. Farewell, Father.
Am I intruding?
I was reflecting at the grave of my beloved father.
You tricked me. I heard something else. Stanisław and I were acquainted. You might say I knew everything about your father. Mr. Victor Szulski, isn't it? Your absence from Warsaw has happily come to an end, I hope.
With all due respect, this is my personal business. It was my father who knew you, not me.
True. Please forgive me. I meant no harm. Again, my condolences.
I didn't catch your name.
My name's Kanieczkin. Ivan Kanieczkin. Goodbye.
Such interesting friends you had. I guess I'm more tired than I thought.
so firstly, Tombstone.
Grandpa you call him a Thaumaturge. I barely remember him.
Josefina Zulski.
Great-grandmother Josefina, a Thaumaturge.
So you come from a long line, it seems. Also, before I do anything else, Thaumaturgy, and then, yeah, let's take a look at that pride. Follows the flaw. Increases the heart dimension force by 1. Also, have Vehenance. Vesna, simple peasant girl from Transcusa, was killed by her father in retaliation for his cruelty. Bukavas follows this flaw. Increased deed dimension force by 1. Pride. I'll keep pride for now. Let's take a look at what we can upgrade. I guess I'll evenly upgrade this out finally and finish off with the word dimension. Got 2 new... We've got 2 more salutors that we need to unlock at least. There's a bunch more down the way, but they're the most likely to grab next. Put that way. Lucky Chances, Powerful Mind. I'm not going to use that, really. I'd rather take damage than focus. Well, I mean, I have a lot of focus. Maybe. I'll think about it down the road. What do we have down this way? Family home in northern...
We can go. The hardest thing was getting the lid of the urn. The scattering I could handle.
You can play the clown, but I know how much this has cost you. I'm glad you went.
Love at a funeral. Eros post-mortem. Is it suitable for a young lady in mourning to fraternize with bachelors? Konstancja Shabowska, the Warsaw Courier. Could I ask for a brief comment?
Hyena.
Thank you. And you, sir?
Chase the hyena away?
I suggest you leave. Otherwise, I'll overlook your womanhood and make sure you can never pronounce a single syllable correctly again.
You'd permit that to happen, Judge? Maybe I should write about this.
And who would let you print it?
Someday the press will get the Russian boot off its neck, Judge.
I'm afraid none of us will live to see the day, my dear. Come on, children. I'm sure my Petya is already waiting for us at home.
I'd love to see my cousin.
Are you coming with us?
Thanks.
Get in. I'm sure the lawyer is already waiting for us.
Aw, man, what did Daddy leave me in his will? I hope it was all of his money. Granted, it's probably nothing. And away we go. Why can't you NPCs run faster? Want to know what he left me?
Miss, your guests have arrived. The lawyer's upstairs too, waiting. A trifle jittery. Wonder if the tea I made him was too strong.
Thank you, Grażyna, dear. Let the guests wait. First, I want to take care of the will.
I'll just wet my whistle and join you all upstairs.
Make sure Uncle makes it upstairs sober. And I'll suggest you don't dawdle either.
Master Victor, good God! Half your face covered, but I could tell right away it was you. You look just like your father in his youth. Completely his spitting image. Should I make you some cocoa, Master? It would warm you up a little.
Make an extra creamy one for Ligia.
Oh, I won't skimp on her. Now, your sister's putting a brave face on all this, but she's really having a hard time. It's lovely to see you again. But that's enough jabber for now. I've got the guests and the cocoa, and I've got to whip up some food for you all later. We'll talk soon.
Oh, I count on it. Let's go make sure our uncle gets super drunk. Father's portrait. The portrait depicts father in his twilight years. The serious expression on his face and proud posture of the grimoire in his hand, combined with the dark background and lack of embellishments, it all reflects the strictness and pragmaticism he always had. Good old Stanislaw, however, a faint red streak can be seen around his figure. Apparently, the artist is practically sensitive to seeing all the things that usually are perceptive. Particularly sensitive. Seeing the things that usually escape the human eye. This one should receive double emolument for capture of Thaumaturge's aura.
I don't want to put my foot in my mouth again. I already failed to recognize someone once today, but you look familiar.
Well, I should think so. I was the victim of one of your starling hunts. Voronins must not be very memorable, cousin.
Pietia! Forgive me, and for shooting you as well. How are you doing?
Just some heart problems, not a subject for today. I'm sorry about Uncle Stanislav. Forgive me for not coming to the funeral. I can't bear cemeteries.
We'll have to meet up again.
Goodbye.
That was a good time for a, but you can bury cemeteries. Anyway. Warsaw Courier Evening Extra. Here's the latest news on the riots that disrupted His Majesty's Emperor Nikolai II's speech today. A moment after our gracious Emperor announced Georgi Skalin as the new Governor General of Warsaw, a group of troublemakers started yelling disgraceful slogans. Despite the reinforced security, there was a scuffle. The Gendarmerie were quick to get the situation under control. However, a few people were injured, including 2 policemen who came to help. 30 people charged with public nuisance and brawling were taken into custody. Okay. I did that. I take all the credit in the world. Thank you. Liqueur recipe. Pot of ripe, duly picked quince fruits into a 4-gallon demijohn. Pour light cooled syrup, pound sugar, add 10 pieces of amber. Stir perfectly in half a gallon of your best spirit. Seal into a moderately warm place in the sun for 10 days. Stirring several times per day, shaking. After 10 to 12 days, when the clumps have sunk, the liquid's completely clear, pour into bottles, cork tightly, keep cool and dry in a cool, dry cellar. Somebody get on that. I make my own beer, but I've never heard of that kind of liquor.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I thought I'd have to drink alone.
So many goodies laid out for the guests. Having trouble picking something for yourself, Judge?
But this was Stasios. It was special. Amber liqueur with quinces.
I think you mean quince liqueur with amber, right? If it's not here, I'm sure it's in the basement. But I won't grope around down there in the dark now. I've got my hands full.
Now, I don't want to trouble you either. Victor, could you track down a little bottle for your uncle?
I suppose I'm obligated to accept this mission.
Good lad. A nephew like you is a treasure.
Now, if only you could have told my father that. 365 dinner recipes for 5 Zultsis by Lucina C. Clean and pluck capon while warm, burn off the remaining feathers and knots over the fire, slice out. We don't need to read that. Not interesting enough. Mother's portrait. Portrait of mother in her youth. She stands proud, wearing a white dress, silk scarf, thrown over her exposed shoulders. Her long dark hair flows down her back. She glances at the viewer with a piercing smile. Bare skin and frivolous hairstyle. It's not how I remembered her. Nadia as a young woman, unkempt maiden. It's hard to believe. Shocking vision of the painter must have been created in a previous era. A time when hearts were stirred and violent emotions, poems were created to the sound of a storm, love stories had to end tragically, etc. Father actually commissioned this painting? Yeah, and why is it in your basement? I'm curious what happened with your mama. Pinot Noir of Oregon. Sovereign de Bordeaux. Or de Bordeaux, sorry. One carries aroma of peaches, apples, and a certain amount of conviction, relationship between two people. It's the beginning of the romantic edge. Beverage is enjoyed by upper crust, given to from man to woman. Quince liquor with amber. Bottle exudes sweet aroma of quince, sincere joy of upcoming meeting. This beverage that brings people together and sweetens the bitterness of everyday life. Element of the ritual friends would eagerly indulge in. Veronen's bottle. Every bottle found in Zalewski's cellar contains a creditable beverage. Uncle Veronen did not disregard any of them. Ground floor! Uncle, I found your fucking liquor.
How did it go? Mission accomplished?
Red wine liqueur.
I think this is the one Uncle wanted.
Yes. This is our little funeral bottle. We would meet in Stasha's study after every funeral we went to, and raised a toast to the dead. And recently, we've been seeing one another more and more at such events. More and more. But this time, even he has left me. So, to an easy death, as Stasha and I used to say.
How did he die?
Hasn't Lygia told you?
I haven't even had the chance to ask.
He didn't suffer, but such images in the memory are better saved for later. I'd prefer to remember him as he was alive. What then? Am I drinking alone?
Propose your own toast. Toast in silence, drink to an easy death.
May the ground be soft, Father. I'm not betting there's an afterlife.
Well, obligation fulfilled. Shall we get to the reading of the will?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yes, let's find out what my father hasn't left me.
Exactly.
Let's begin if everyone is ready. Would you all please take a seat? Ladies and gentlemen, by the power of my office vested in me by the grace of His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of all Russia, I hereby testify. Mr. Shulski's last will and testament were prepared several years ago in the presence of Zaslav Fedorov, Esquire, that is, myself. My last will and testament recorded in the year of our Lord 1888. In the name of the Holy Trinity. Amen.
Excuse me, but could we get to the details?
Victor.
I think we all want to address more temporal matters, don't we?
In theory...
Would you be so kind?
Of course. Here we are. All movables and immovables relating to the family enterprise, I entrust to the care and administration of my daughter. I do not prescribe a method of administering them. I merely offer her one piece of advice. To my brother-in-law and oldest friend, Alexander Voronin, I wish to leave the following. My collection of muskets and 2 revolvers, dating to the uprising in memory of our first mating.
Stasio, I will have plenty to do in my retirement.
Enjoy your retirement.
I would also like to come to the aid of my only son, Viktor Shulsky, by entrusting him with the use of my personal black grimoire, in the hope that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will and testament. Carry it out solemnly, though you may have found it burdensome. However, this last bequest poses a certain problem.
Yes, it certainly does. And what is that, may I ask?
I am not in possession of this grimoire. The late Mr. Shulsky used it up until his death, yet no one left it with me after his passing.
Meaning it's disappeared? Did Father have his grimoire on him at the time of his death?
It was only because of the grimoire that we could identify him at all.
What actually happened? How did he die?
A building collapsed on top of him. I don't know any other way of putting it.
A building? It collapsed on top of him? How? How did this happen?
It was a day like any other. Papa had gone for his habitual walk. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he'd take a stroll to get some space, as he put it. When he didn't come back for a long time, I got the bad feeling something had happened. Then...
We rode there together. An entire wall of a tenement had collapsed. There were 3 victims, including Stasio, who had the bad luck to simply be walking by. To see him there in that condition, it's beyond description.
Where did it happen? Where was this building?
The southern part of Śródmieście, not far from the police station. Anyway, you can miss it.
Of all the possibilities, this was the death that fate prepared for him.
I foresaw a slightly more pleasant end for him, myself. I doubt even he deserved such a horrible death.
Those might be the kindest words you've ever said on the subject of a father.
How typical of his sort of person, to keep a portrait in his study of a family that was only a family on canvas. Not long after the painting was done, he got divorced, ruined Dziedzictwis, and kicked out his son. But there the portrait hangs, as if family meant anything at all.
I don't know what exactly happened with Aboritse, but I know that Papa felt guilty. You don't want to forgive him even now that he's gone?
The dead need no forgiving. And as for forgetting, I don't know how. It's just a shame about the grimoire.
What do you intend to do?
I think we have to look for the answer in the place where it happened.
With your sight, you can make out more in those ruins than I, or Uncle, or Detective could. This is a good lead, but is it the only one?
And where are Father's things at the moment?
You're standing at the very center of his kingdom. Not everything has been sorted through yet, but you go right ahead.
And the store? I should check that too.
I've started stock-taking there to distract myself, and I don't want you to go in there before I've finished.
As you wish. Now at least I can see how little I know. Maybe these scraps of information will lead me somewhere.
Well, now that we know what's got to be figured out, forgive me, my darlings. I'm going to give my old bones a rest.
I'll see you out.
Goodbye, Uncle. And, Ligia. I'm sorry it happened this way. That I wasn't close by.
The most important thing is you're here now.
I've started to take my time and make sure that my responses with Ligia aren't too pissy. Because the fact that she's remembering all these things that I'm saying is starting to make me worried that down the road she might let me die or get injured of something. Our family portrait. I can't remember when it was taken. The year was I can remember when it was taken. The year was 1884, and Ligia and I were 9 years old at the time. She was clearly tense, and I remember how Mother admonished her not to smile, not to fidget, but to stand straight, and Ligia would take cue from her. Mother was able to freeze like a statue and sit there barely breathing for a couple of hours. I, on the other hand, posing nonchalantly, was always more unrestrained than my sister. I could get away with more. Behind us, our father, the head of the family, one hand resting patronizingly on the back of the chaise lounge, asserting his ownership, the other holding a grimoire, the black grimoire. Behind father is a shadow, as if shape was emerging and forming, indicating another presence. That's Balberth. The family is complete. Interesting.
How do you find our old stomping ground? Yes, I'm not too fond of this place either. This is where I had my last conversation with my father, just before I left. If you can call it a conversation. Can you see my dreams? Nightmares, actually. Ever since I decided to come back, I keep reliving the same memory. The loan shark incident. I've been seeing his death more and more lately. I wonder if his shop is still there. Perhaps we should go there and check.
I find it interesting that he's always talking with those salutors. Specifically that salutor, which apparently, I guess, has been in the family for a while. But all the while, the salutor never says anything. Just sits there, making noises, doing the same animation over and over again. But he seems to be talking with it still nonetheless. Stanislaus' last will. Yep. We already basically heard that in cutscene form. So, with that, is there anything else worth checking up here? I see something in the bathroom. Pseudomo... Oh, God. No evidence that all demons are salutors. A theorem, false lead. Puzzle, false lead. Anton claims to have subjugated Orobus, mere boasting. Take one form of the wolf, wings of the griffin, tail of snake. Explore fragments of our minds. Interesting. Charred letter, my love for you is burning, keeps me from eating, keeps me from sleeping, keeps me from living. Ligia, I'm begging you to end my agony, agree to be my... Ooh. Polish Gazette evening, ceremony, Montreal, body of distinguished writer, citizen, and sire Dutska, laid arrest, handful of competitors, scored the coffin, yeesh, more death. My letter from Paris. I'll have to write something to you. Doctor recommended I do so. Not alone in my anguish. Share a room with Redford Morton, whose last name escapes me. They brought him from London from Seward Clinic. A very interesting case. Spends his days hunting for moths, cockroaches, ladybugs, and beetles that come here sometimes. He eats them. He says it gives him strength to wait for the coming of the Lord. But I don't think he means the Savior. I cannot yet reconstruct all the details after the debacle with Paimon. My mind is still in tatters. Paimon visited me no more than a week ago. I know that it's impossible. It probably happened only in my mind, but it was so clear. He, as the king of hell, was the host of demons, shadows, penitence, called for me to join them. It was so real. I'll stop here. I'm having a hard time gathering my thoughts. W. Message from Mother. Dear child, stop. It is going great sorrow that I have received the news of Stanislaus' death. Stop. Unfortunately, I will not be able to attend the funeral ceremony. Stop. My duties in Paris keep me from traveling to Warsaw at this time. Stop. I join you both in mourning and sorrow. Stop, Mama. My letter from Rome, July. Dear sister, I'm writing you because sleep eludes me. I wrote before I have found a suitable candidate. However, I'm struggling to reach his flaw. I feel Paimon within my reach. I even saw him, vaguely, but I did. I'll stop here because my nerves prevent me from continuing. P.S. Yes, I will be careful. Don't think me a fool like father. Yeesh. Methinks that kind of pain runs deep. Serious photo. Straight back, stern expression, shoes in the air, two boys just trying to meet everyone's expectations. Something went wrong here. Yeesh. Alright, we've got 2 extra points in the Thaumaturge. I think I'm just going to straight up get Agony and Action-Reaction. Go from there. Interesting. Bust of Siren, sharp, avian feathers, weird, disturbing kind of beauty, make you fall into her clutches, be lulled into an eternal dream by her sweet song, yet cryptic, slight smile. Subconscious primal part of you being cower away from the predator, but it isn't soul. The only price for bliss is giving yourself up to an enchanting creature. Interesting. Alright guys, I'm going to leave this video here because it's been going on for a while. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope to see you in the next one. Later.